Alrighty, so quick recap of what happened today. Trades that I took, daily recap. So, first was EU, so let's start by EU. So, H4 is bearish, internal is bearish as well. Price just swept that high, so I was still expecting bearish movement or price to continue lower, but at some point I was like, if we respect this demand, because we didn't get the chalk, so if we respect that demand, then we will probably continue higher. If we don't respect it, then that's the chalk line, so we will just push lower, right? And once price reached that demand, that's what I tried to do. So our internal was bullish, our fractal structure was not bullish. I mean, it was bullish still. Price was coming lower. I waited price to come to one of my extreme demand, right? And then we got the IBOS right there. Then we had the IBOS. So once price reached my demand, I just took a trade after we got an LC2A. So it was right there. So that low, once we got that chalk there, that inside bar was our fractal high. We broke it, so chalk, but then we continued lower, and that was our entry. I put stops behind the lows. But unfortunately, we got stopped out there, which is fine. And price just continued lower, gave us an II boss there, or rather not here. I don't know why I have this one here, but rather, yeah, just it broke that low, then broke it again. So for now, what happened is that internal is still bullish, right? But we swept that high and we shifted bearish. But the thing is, what I'm looking at here is that we had a shift in structure right there after mitigating one of the extremes there. But again, I'm not too keen into longs. I'm shorts now because what happened is price went to one of the supplies in premium, right? Created some double tops and then swept those tops. Directly gave us a chalk, right? So I'm just gonna fix everything now. So we have a H4 chalk right there, all right? And then, well, after that chalk, right? Price is bearish now, so waiting for price to potentially push lower and break the internal low. Yes, we mitigated that small unmitigated demand right there, or fractal demand right there, but that's fine. So yeah, so price reached one of supplies, one of internal supplies in premium, gave us a double top, swept that top, and then shifted the bearish. So I'm expecting price to remain bearish and continue potentially bearish, right? So do we have any areas in the H4 that I'm looking to take a trade from, right? So this is my first level. Got mitigated right there on the H4, right? So now then we have that level, but again, it just pushed price lower, it got mitigated again. So I'm happy to just look and follow M15. So internal still bullish, right? Swing is bearish. We swept that high, right? And then we started creating fractal structure. So our last fractal structure, let me just remove everything and clean stuff here. So let's just remove that. So what happened is that we had that fractal structure, right? That got broken here. Let me just put it so that was the low, so it got broken there, right? So fractal structure is bearish now. That's the high, that's the low. Price reached one of the levels and just reach premium and just sweep liquidity there. So just tell me that price is ready to continue to downside, right? Yeah, and now it's just after it swept liquidity, just pushing to downside. So what I'm thinking is let's just remain bearish and follow these structures and see where price will lead us for tomorrow potentially. Do we have any unmitigated demand perhaps? I mean unmitigated supply perhaps. Let me just double check. We don't really have any unmitigated I mean, supply, except perhaps that high there, that fractal pivot there. But again, it's not clear. So what I would be waiting for potentially is maybe continuation, sweep, and the shift in structure, create a fresh supply to look from sell from. So yeah, that could happen as well. Also, we have that demand that's holding for now, but I'm not expecting it to hold, even though it got us that choke right there, etc. That internal fractal structure there. But yeah, so I'm expecting price to just break that internal low for now. Yeah, so that's what happened today. We pushed lower, we got that chalk there. How was the daily looking? Exactly. The daily had the chalk as well, so we're expecting strong bearish movement to push price to the downside, right? And potentially break that internal low and then that strong low as well. Because yeah. So yeah, let's see what price will do. For now, that's a structure that I can still follow, right? But I need to be very careful here and just wait for a very high probability supply to look for sells from. And yeah, let's see GU. So I took another trade in GU as well, right? Um, so this trade could have been avoided. It's not bad, but it could have been avoided for sure. Let me explain why. So daily is internal is bearish. Let me just start with the H4. So swing is bearish. Internal was bearish at that moment as well. We swept the high, but I was expecting price to potentially break that internal high because it was weak. We didn't have any inducement, didn't sweep anything, didn't achieve anything really. We remained bullish with the fractal structure, following fractal structure, and we had the H4 demand that we were trying to take price longer from, right? So what happened is price reached I mean, M15 was still bearish. We spread the highs, all right, but then our internal was bullish, and I was willing to take a trade following internal structure and trying to potentially push price higher and break those highs, right? But what happened is that was my internal range. Price mitigated uh, uh, that pivot, not the pivot, but potentially the extreme range, right? And then it gave us an IBOS, so, I mean fractal boss structure, a fractal structure shift. So I was willing to take a trade from there, okay? But what I did is once price broke, it gave us a demand, and I just market executed from that level, right? Which, to be fair, it was all right to just do it, but if I waited for an LC2A, it would give me more probability, let's say, right? I didn't, but that's totally fine. And I got stopped out, right? And then price pushed higher again, and then went to our extreme pivot, and then pushed higher. All right, so that's what happened basically. And then price pushed higher, potentially breaking that internal high and that swing high as well. So we got an IBOS for now. So let me just remove everything here. So we got the IBOS there. I mean the boss as well and IBOS, right? So the M15 boss there. And we got the IBOS as well. So let's just put a line right there. All right. And our internal due range is this one. So that's our internal low. All right. It's been mitigated there. And we have a new demand just right there. Just put it. All right, did we get any chalk yet? Let me just double check. So that's a high. Do we have a double top? Is that, so that's 2888 and that, let me just double check. No, that's 222, the high, and there 22. So we have equal tops. We didn't get any any chalk. For now, our chalk line is still there. So that's our chalk line, right? Um, right there. We'll see what price will do. But for now, that's our internal high, all right? There we go. And yeah, so for now we're bullish on M15, but what am I expecting here? All right, so we pushed higher from that demand, right? Um, daily still looks bullish, to be fair. Could we push lower? Perhaps we could, maybe, but I'm not really sure, so I'm just gonna wait for more confirmations. It's looking bullish to me. Um, yeah, it's looking bullish to me. We had the truck, so potentially price is gonna push higher into the daily supply. Um, internal is bearish. I mean, swing is bearish. Internal is bullish. So yeah, price could continue higher from here. It could. Yeah. So basically, that's what happened today. So we have our new internal range, H4 internal range, right? We mitigated that demand, that beautiful demand, and we pushed higher. So that was beautiful. And yeah, now let's see what will happen tomorrow. We have this pivot here, unmitigated pivot here, which is the only unmitigated demand in this whole range where we can expect price to come to and potentially continue bullish, right? And it's exactly this one. So soft liquidity there. It doesn't have inducement really, and their inducement is right there, but it's not really strong. So we could potentially play that pullback right there and then see how it goes. Yeah. So yeah, that's our two entries for the day, two losses, but it's totally fine. One could have been avoided. This one could have been avoided potentially with like if I waited for a potential entry model LC2A, but or an LC1, but that's totally fine. It was a clean entry that I wanted to only market execute, which is fine. So yeah, so that's what happened today. Let's see what we can do tomorrow.